Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Enlightening Your Way. I am your host, Nancy Lombardo. We are airing live on the official Lilydale Assembly Facebook page and YouTube channel. I'm a leaseholder here in Lilydale and the president of the Church of Living Spirit, which is an independent spiritualist church on the grounds. I'm a military veteran, retired police detective, fitness and yoga instructor, and wellness is my passion. This show is a combination of my many life experiences and various topics and guests to help enrich one's mind, body, and soul on your pathway to healthy living. My website is Wellness with Nancy Lombardo, where my motto is protecting and serving your well-being. And I'm so excited to introduce our guest this evening. Kelly Brickel is a numerologist, psychic medium, healer, mentor, and author with over 11 years of professional experience and love of this work. Kelly believes that encouragement and support in the spiritual, mental, and emotional spheres are vital to the soul. Whether your experience is through a reading, healing, class, or event, Kelly believes that the discovery of what is possible is truly a heart-opening event. Kelly is the co-author of 2 books, Natural and Organic Healing, Your Ultimate Guide to Health and Wellness, and Kindness Crusader. Kelly is also the owner of Sacred Spiral Network and hosts her own weekly live shows and podcasts, which are the Psychic Hour and the Numerology Hour. And to learn everything about Kelly, check her out at kellybrickel.com. Yay! Welcome, Kelly.
Thank you, Nancy. I appreciate being on. I appreciate you having me.
I appreciate you doing this, especially with you doing your own podcast. I just know how much work it is, but I'm so excited to talk to you, and I don't even really know where to begin with all this. So I think my first question, and for everybody that doesn't know you, is to let us know where it all began.
My goodness. Well, when I was younger, I was kind of forced into learning about life through some health challenges. And so it made me kind of meditate and go into my thoughts a lot. Frequently and go, why is this happening? Why is this difficult? Or can I have some guidance? Can I have perspective? And I would pray, and I would kind of just be in this searching consciousness. And so through that, I started to be more aware of myself and other people. And I was always quite sensitive as a child, and I would know things about other people psychically. I didn't have a lot of mediumship experiences until I was a little bit older, so like teenage into 20s. But when I was a kid, I would just know things about people. I would know things about the relationships sometimes, or if they were a kind person, or if I should trust them. I don't know, but I just assumed it was common sense. I never, it was not something I thought I was psychic, or I was a medium, or I was sensitive. Wasn't on my radar, wasn't in my perspective. It only was until I was a teenager and I was having the health problems, and I started to read about health and wellness, and I saw Sylvia Browne on the Montel Williams show, and I went, oh, she's doing what I do, except I don't purely talk to people who have crossed over. But she's talking about the things that I think about, that I write about, because I would journal, and that's how it all kind of fell into place. I had no idea what I was doing. I had to figure it out along the way. And then I found Kindred Souls, and I read a lot of books, and I went to a lot of conferences, and then I started taking workshops. But that's what it was. So a lot of developing before I actually knew what this all was. So when I actually started doing it, I was like, oh, okay, I think I know what's going on finally.
Well, you're a friend of mine, and I always consider you an old, wise soul, way older than your years for sure. So, yeah, I think it's development. So, have you always been interested in numbers?
No, I've always been interested in learning in general. Mm-hmm. So I was not good at math in school, but I loved learning about it.
I was horrible in math, so I get that. Yeah.
I loved that it was a puzzle, and I loved learning what it took to figure out the puzzle. So I appreciated just the sheer learning of it. And it was funny. Sometimes I would know the answer to equations, but my brain would kind of skip and jump in different directions. And I'm like, oh, I knew the answer, and all of a sudden my work's all fumbly, or oh, I was doing what I was supposed to, and all of a sudden I put a different answer. So me and numbers didn't exactly. We have a dyslexic relationship a little bit, and it's kind of funny because when people have dyslexia, it's usually because when they're reading words or numbers, the emotion part of their brain comes forth more than the visual part or the word part with processing. So it kind of worked out for me to become a numerologist because I would feel numbers and I didn't realize it, or I'd kind of think in numbers, but it wouldn't be what I was supposed to be doing. So I had no idea. But now I really like numbers. Yes.
So how did one become a numerologist?
So when I was a teenager, I started trying to understand if this work was real because I had quite a logical brain. I wasn't like, oh, the world is black and white. Everything has to be logical. I was very emotional. At the same time, very sensitive to other people. Very compassionate, very feeling based as well. But I was like, if I'm going to have a case and if I'm going to have to teach people ever, or if I want to be a part of something that is a virtue or truth, I have to do the investigative work to make sure this exists in the first place. And no one ever taught me anything about this. I didn't even know it was a thing, that psychics and mediums were real when I was young. So I was like, is it real? So I started researching. I started, watching people, reading about people, going to classes and events. And I would just observe and take in the information, like, how do they do it? I started trying to read myself and seeing if there was any verifiable results. So I did that with that's a whole thing, but I did that with psychic and mediumship work. And I went, okay, well, what about like astrology and numerology? Like, why do we need tools to connect if it's real? So I was convinced it was real, but I was like, why would we need things to connect then if it's real? It doesn't make any sense. And so I started investigating that, and I fell in love with numerology naturally because I noticed patterns, and I was like, oh, okay, all right, let me just keep this in my back pocket. Okay.
Is it not ancient? It's very ancient and old.
It's yeah, just like astrology, it's very ancient, old. Numerology and astrology have a lot of crossovers.
Mm-hmm.
And the study of numbers, just like mathematics, is ancient. And philosophers and mathematicians did have crossovers. It wasn't always discussed. It was more so discussed in philosophy, what they believed the energy of numbers to be. So Aristotle talks about it. So there is a way that people have studied and honored numbers as being sacred and seen patterns in nature for thousands and thousands of years. It goes back. Astrology was kind of carved from some of those principles, and numerology kind of had to find its own way again in modern terms, because a lot of it was infused in Vedic astrology, like the study of numerology, or numerology is just a part of how you read with astrology in some cultures. There's Chinese numerology. That goes way far back too as well. So there's Eastern numerology, but it was kind of utilized for not just, hey, let me give you a numerology reading. It's like, let me look at your energy, and I'll read your energy through some numbers. I'll read your energy through this and that, and I'll grab this and that. If that makes sense, like it was multiple systems.
Right. Yeah, that makes total sense. So can you possibly give our viewers a basic 101 lesson, just some simple concepts of numerology and the numbers and working with the energy of the numbers?
Sure. So I study Western numerology, as there's more than one type, and whether it's Eastern or Western or other forms, most of the laws of numerology are based on 1 through 9. So every number that you're going to calculate and add up is going to just reduce to 1 through 9. So if you have a master number or a repeating number, and so a master number is kind of like an angel number, if you ever heard of that.
Yes.
They're a little different. Instead of, I have 4 4s, you're going to add those 4s up and you're going to get one single digit. And so numerology is all about archetypes of numbers. So to get really good at it, you have to learn about the laws of 1 through 9. And they're going to land up in different places. So you're going to look at someone's personality. You're going to look at somebody's like career energy. You're going to look at somebody's love energy, and you're going to see certain numbers in those categories. And that's how you read them. So even though it seems simple, a lot of people have clusters of numbers. And when you combine certain numbers, it creates certain qualities of energy for people to experience and to learn lessons through.
Does it all start with our date of birth?
It all starts with our date of birth and our name.
Oh, and the name. How's that?
Yeah. So the birthday is the energy that we come into within the world, and the name can be that too as well, but it's the energy we walk the world in. And so we can change our name by getting married or having nicknames. But really, every single time I say, hi, I'm Kelly Brickel, what I'm saying to you without you consciously understanding is, hi, I'm 2533729933253.
So do you put the numbers with your name as far as how they go in the alphabet?
Yep. Every letter has a numerical value. Okay. So when I'm saying, hi, I'm Kelly, I'm actually saying like, hi, I'm number 2. It's nice to meet you.
So if people watching here today were to go in and add up their numerical value of their name, what would that mean to them?
Sure. It's going to let them know a part of their chart. So like, for instance, and you have to go by your most current name to understand what you're currently working with. We are born into the world with names, and that is part of our chart too. So you're not just looking at one name sometimes when you're dealing with somebody, but to know who you are in current. And I want to stress that a lot, because a lot of numerology doesn't always utilize it from that facet, and it creates very accurate readings when you look at yourself in current. So and understanding what your true identity is in current. So you're going to learn about, and every type of numerology sometimes calls this differently. So that's why I have to kind of stress it for a second. Your soul number is going to be about like what makes you happy, what lights you up, what gives you your energy back. Okay. It's sometimes called other names in different systems, but it gives you your soul number, your name. It gives you your personality number. It gives you your power number. Again, that can be called different things in different systems. Like sometimes people call their personality their destiny number. Okay. Mm-hmm. But what that gives you is how you walk within the world. It sometimes is linked to career. It's linked to how people see you and react to you as they get to know you for prolonged periods of time. It's like an energy signal you give off to people very strongly. And thus, like, people will give you things or assume you're that way within the world. Okay, there's that. And then your power number, that's kind of like your lucky number and what gets you through difficult situations. So, and then there's other things, but those are kind of the main 3 that just your name can give you, and it will change depending on how you identify. Like, for instance, the last thing I'll say is you could be Jack at work, and you could be Jackie at home. Different parts of you are going to surface from how your identity is, because you're working with the energy at Jack at work, and then you're working with an energy of Jackie at home, because you're saying, I'm this now. In this role, I am this. This is how I use my energy.
That's fascinating. Yeah, and that makes total sense. I get what you're saying for sure. Totally. So I know this was probably a question a lot of people ask and wonder about, but I know you're talking about angel numbers, but what is the meaning when people keep seeing the same numbers over and over and over again? And are these numbers, do they mean the same thing for different people? Like the 11s, or, is it the same
Well,
for everybody, or is it different for different people?
so to answer you, you read numbers kind of one of two ways. One, what the law of the number is, and it's like a code of energy, and that applies to everybody. And then also, through the energy coming on in, it might stimulate your chart differently. Like if you get a bunch of sixes, you might have a bunch of sixes in your chart, and that's really going to activate you in a different way with somebody who, let's say, doesn't have it as a six dominant chart. So in ways, like numbers are sometimes personal with how they stimulate us. And also, if you're getting 23s all around, let's say, or if you're getting 222s, and that somehow connects you to the memory of your grandma or your best friend because 22 was their favorite number, or they were born on the 23rd. The universe talks to us in that way too. It's not just purely through this one stream of code. It's through emotion. It's through remembrance. It's through harmony of soul to soul communication. So it can go with mediumship and psychic quite beautifully and naturally. So it's more than one way. It's not just one way.
Like, because I mean 11s, and I've always known that, well, those are angels, those are spirits. So, and I've seen them everywhere. And lately, I mean, not lately, over the last several months, I keep seeing 11s. So is it always the same meaning?
So one, I'd be curious if you have a lot of ones within your chart, because certain numbers just follow us. There's certain numbers wherever we go, we will bump into them. Like you'll find that over the course of your life, if you've rented or owned houses, there will be similar numbers that you have purchased or stayed in. Even with hotel rooms, like you'll always wind up with a certain 3 numbers, right? It's kind of crazy like that. So there could be that, but also it's a repeated message of new energy is coming. 111s are like, okay, get ready, something new is beginning, get ready, like you're resetting again. You're getting refreshed. Don't worry about what just happened. We're going to send you in a new direction. So get ready for that instead.
Ruth was writing that she has started noticing repeated number patterns a lot since her partner passed in 2017.
Absolutely. So another thing that I talk about a lot is in nature and just with numerology in general. When you see patterns that are repeated, that means that it's heightened energy. Okay. And so what the universe does is it will cluster certain numbers to grab our attention, to showcase heightened energy, or for us to feel heightened energy. So if they want us to know that spirit is around, they're like, hey, pay attention. You're not going to miss if we keep sending you 111s and 222s, or you're not going to be able to overthink it and talk it out of your mind if we send you a number that reminds you of your partner. It's ways to catch your eye, so you pay attention and you start going, maybe that there is something to this. Like, this is not just me.
I love that. Yeah, I mean, that makes total sense also too. So how reliable is the information you get from numbers? How reliable have you found it to be?
I find it incredibly reliable. Like, it definitely blows my mind. I am always kind of practicing with it to understand, I guess, the spectrum of what certain numbers can mean. But once I know some things very concretely, I find that it really does virtually apply to almost everybody. Sometimes it's a nuance, and sometimes it's an intensity of like, no, this person is cookie cutter number 5. It's incredible, honestly. So you have to find the nuances with people of where they sit within the archetype, but it's pretty exacting. It really is.
And I think it's fascinating. I think it's just absolutely fascinating. So I know you said one of your quotes is that whether the connection is through spirit, emotion, or vibrational numbers, there is always a pathway to information waiting to help. Can you further explain what that specifically means?
Sure. I think that the universe is made up of energy, and we're doing our best, and we have a lot of access to translating that energy. So there's different systems to understand the eloquence of this language. Um, and so there's a lot of ways to help with when we go, I don't get it, I'm lost, I don't understand. There's a lot of ways to start to understand. Or there's a lot of people that have started to understand certain things about this energy that we all share, where they can give you insight or tap into certain things that can heal.
But I like the way you use the word vibrational energy. So you feel like numbers do have vibrations to them?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yes.
Is there a
Just like
certain number?
colors do.
Say again? Oh, yeah.
Think
Okay.
of think of numbers like colors.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
So is there certain numbers that you like, I don't like that, and so I don't want to have anything to do with that number, and other ones that I like that number?
I all numbers, in my opinion, should be treated neutrally. They all have great things to them, and they all have like, hey, look out for this. um,
Right?
yeah, and so people embody them the same way. Like some people use their numbers really, really positively, and other people like not so much. And then we all will, this is pretty classical when you start to see charts and read for people. We all have clusters of numbers. So from that, we operate a certain way. And thus, there are some numbers that will be counter to our natural way of being. And those are the numbers that we normally wouldn't like as much. Like I have a lot of 2s, 4s, and 8s in my chart. And so I don't do well always with 5 energy. I really like 5 energy, and I can be harmonious with 5 energy in some placements. But 5 energy is fast. It doesn't like to plan. It wants to go. It's spontaneous. And I'm just like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, settle down. Like, this is exhausting me. Hold on. Or like, hey, there's better options. You missed it because you're going 90 miles per hour. And then the 5 people, they wouldn't care. They'd just be like, I want to try all the options. I don't want,
Right.
right? We could have done 5 things already, and you want to do 2 really good things? We could have done 5 things.
I love that. So what has numerology done for your own self-discovery?
Oh gosh. Yeah, I think studying archetypes, whether it's astrology, numerology, colors, it just helps you to understand the human design better. And so you have a lot more compassion for yourself and other people. And you understand the lessons that everyone is given. And when you can map that out, you kind of don't get triggered as much, and you can be a lot more neutral because you're like, oh, they would do that. Okay, like if they were maybe more mature about themselves, they could go back to neutrality. But okay, I get it. Sure, they would do that. So there's a lot of moments like that. Or, okay, I understand. I do struggle with that. All right. And anytime I don't understand, I kind of just want to take a moment and I start looking at things and I start meditating on things. And it's a focal point of understanding. That's all I'm going to say. It's a focal point of understanding.
Yeah, I get that. I like that for sure. So when you do gallery readings through numerology, is the first thing you do ask someone for like their date of birth, or how does it work?
Yeah. So with numerology gallery readings, you don't have the same one-on-one environment to really sit a person down and to go as deep. And so it blends really nicely with psychic work. So all I need is someone's birth date, and I can pull up a lot of information and I start to feel their energy, and I'm guided through their numbers again as a focal point, but I can get a lot of psychic information
Mhm.
as well. So I blend the two where I can, just from their birthday, I can get like 10 numbers off of them. And it's like a little map for how I can work with them.
Right. That's fascinating. Can you hear my cat back here? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, just a couple times I could, but I love cats, so I'm okay with that.
Every time I go live, he like knows I'm live and wants to be on camera and wants all the attention too. It's just bizarre.
That's
So,
okay. My little boy
I'm
used
so
to do
sorry
that.
about that.
No, I think it's cool. They're celebrating. You have a medium cat. Are you kidding me? That's awesome. They're like, let me in. I wanna be a part of the energy.
That's
I
great.
am this energy.
So I wanted to change the subject just a bit. You know, I'm all about wellness, and you co-authored the book Natural and Organic Healing, Your Ultimate Guide to Health and Wellness. Can you tell us a little bit about what that book is about?
Sure. So like in 2019, I was a part of two collaborative projects, and they were a little bit like the chicken soup of the soul kind of books. And so they had a lot of people come together to have inspirational stories and also like wellness stories with certain types of healing. So, like my chapter in that book is about Reiki and how, yeah, and what it does for the body, and it spotlight how to find a good Reiki session and what to keep in mind if you were starting Reiki. So that was my chapter. So I've been doing Reiki for 14 years, and I really, really love it. It's groovy.
It's turned into a big thing too, for sure.
Yeah, it really has, and I'm glad. So in California where I am, it's pretty common. So it's great that almost everybody knows about Reiki to a certain degree. If you say energy healing, they're like, oh, Reiki, and yeah. So
I
it's
know a lot.
really.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, yeah.
I was just going to say a lot of times at the Healing Temple in Lilydale that people that aren't familiar with spiritual healing, that's the first thing they say is this Reiki, and it's like, well, it's a little different. It's different energy, but they definitely know to relate it to some kind of movement of energy. So it's a good thing that they know that.
Absolutely. So there's a lot of different types, exactly, and like over the years, I've definitely married the things that I've learned. But yeah, I guess my specialty is like clairvoyance healing, and also clairsentience healing. Like I see and feel what's going on within the body, and then I kind of go, okay, like I can do a reading on this actually. But if we're gonna clear it and work with it, maybe I can assist some energy moving, but for the most part, I just step back and I let, the energy come in of what is coming forth to heal. So, but I love healing work too, so very much.
Yeah, totally. So being in California, how did you hear about Lilydale?
I learned about Lilydale from mostly Lisa Williams. Before that, I was familiar with the documentary that came out. No one really ever dies in Lilydale.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it perked my attention. But yeah, Lisa Williams was training her teachers there. I don't know if she still does it in Lilydale, but she was at the time, and I was a part of studying under her through the program she was running. And so we were there for 3 weeks, and that's how I first got.
Met you.
Oh, say that again, it cut out.
I think that's when I first met you, was when you
Yeah,
were in Lilydale. Yeah, during that program. That was cool.
that's
Very-
when I first bumped into you. Exactly.
So what was your first impression of Lilydale?
I love the energy of the trees and the nature. It had this healing, soft, really serene, special presence. And when I was walking around, it felt like I had been there before. And I was kind of it's funny. I've had experiences with past lives, and I'm like, I just feel like I've been here before, and I'm like, hit me over the head with like an understanding how I wasn't hit over the head. So I'll be shown it in steps. But I don't know. I was just looking at the walls and everything. I'm just like, the people on the walls and what they stood for. It's like I believe in all those things. So it's like I don't know. I just feel like I've been here before, and if I have, then excellent. It just feels like home. And I didn't know about all the history until I went there, and I learned so much. And then I've learned so much since I've been there, just over the years. And it's just truly an incredible, remarkable place for just spiritual freedom.
Huh, I like that word. Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that. Is there any particular place in Lilydale that's your favorite?
It's going to sound funny, but I just love walking around the streets at night. That's not a particular place. I just feel like, and then during the daytime too. I don't know, when I'm just the roads. I get to walk around and kind of do figure eights. I just, it's so peaceful. But I love the healing temple. Okay, I love the Octagon building. There you
Yeah,
go.
of course you would.
But for some reason, I just love to get lost just walking and letting my mind wander, and it feels so comforting.
Mhm.
So, just just the woods, right? But
Right.
the Octagon building, I think, is my favorite. Yes, yes.
Yeah, because it's got numbers involved with it.
Well, it's funny, like the ceiling's like higher, but for whatever reason, I always imagined the ceiling being like 10 feet tall in there.
Right.
That it just has this really big energy that I really love. And so I always just imagine it to be way bigger because it feels way bigger to me, and it feels just very comforting and at peace and at home. And that's where we were um, actually, our classroom was when I was there for 3 weeks. And so it just felt so good every day to be in that room. So again, it reminds me of kind of home again. It makes me feel very comforted.
It's got very good energy, and it's one of the few still standing octagons in Western New York. So it's a very special building and the historical landmark. So it's a cool building for sure. Really
So they
cool.
used to build a lot of them and they don't anymore?
Yeah, I guess they used to have more, but yeah, they were tore down or yeah.
Oh,
So,
they need to get on building more. I mean,
right.
it's so
So you
blissful.
were here last year during season teaching classes, and I guess you'll be coming back again. Yes,
Yeah.
season for the
Which is
2026 season.
yes, I'm blessed to be back teaching. I really enjoy teaching, and I'm honored to be there for 2026.
What's some of the classes you're going to be teaching this summer for us?
I'm going to be teaching a numerology class. It's going to be like love and relationships based, and that's going to be a full day because we really have to get into understanding to work with the numbers before we can understand the love stuff. So that will be in depth, and it will be very fun and eye opening. It's all about like synastry, they sometimes say in astrology terms. It's comparing charts, it's understanding what we need and what we like, what we're attracted to, or what creates friction or toxicity. Because we just don't operate from the same place. It's not like, oh, I just don't like that. There's deeper reasons. Or, oh, I really like that. I don't know why. There's a reason for that. And so we'll get into that. And then also healing with the aura. And I love teaching this class. It's funny. It's a simple class, but it's not at the same time. And it takes so much work. But mostly, and it goes by so quick. It's like a 3-hour class, but people are going to be doing aura exercises. It's very hands-on, and it's about feeling emotions from the aura. And also, if I can get the lights to turn off, we'll
Mhm.
actually do exercise with seeing the aura. So I teach like people to actually see color. And in order to do that, I first say, hey, we're going to have to turn off your real eyes for a second so you can actually look with your energetic eyes. And so that's why it needs to be dark. And so if I can get the lights off, we'll actually work from that place too. But if not, we're going to be working with feeling our energy centers and also the aura of how we emit certain emotions, because it's actually very palpable and a lot of people don't realize it because you don't get a chance to go like, oh, you're feeling angry, let me put my hands up and feel what that feels like. Oh, you feel really sad today, yeah, oh, can you turn around for me, what does that feel like? And that's what we're doing, we're like broadcasting certain emotions to understand that we can read people and it has an energy signature, and to validate why when people walk into the room, I don't know why, I just really feel that about them, and to learn how to trust that information.
Yeah, because it's a thing for sure. It's a real thing for sure.
For
Someone was asking if these classes are going to be online. I do not believe they're going to be hybrid, are they? It's in person?
They're all in person. Yeah, I would love to teach online too. It's really hard to teach an aura class online. I've done it, but it's been more so we're going to do meditations and we are going to talk about the energy of color because I really need, or we're going to talk about feelings and do some reading exercises. But you really want somebody present when you're working with clairvoyance, especially. I find to teach them how to do it, or because it's like a lot of times we're talking conceptually about the aura a lot, or like the energy of, and it's just like, oh, I can just feel, energy off of people sometimes. But no, if you have them in person, you're like, no, there's actually like a dome sensation, or there's actually like physicality feelings to it. It's bonkers.
Kimberly was also making mention, I think you kind of touched base on this, that she'd been seeing a lot of ones lately in various variations, 1 or 111 or 111, just ones. That can mean
Sure.
a variation of things.
Um, I would have to like again look more into Kimberly's numbers, but yes, it usually leads back to get ready, newness is coming, the doors are opening. Okay, it's like when you are in an auditorium and you just see multiple doors kind of open to help file all the people in, and think about the door frames. A door frame open is 1 and 1. And so if you have 2 door frames open, then you have, 4 ones. And so it's just a bunch of open energy ready to go. And it's like walking through a new door, getting ready for a new refreshed path. So it's saying, hey, like, you don't have to deal with some of the stuff that has really burdened you. You know, it's gonna be okay. Get ready. Get ready. The rules are about to change, and you should be excited for that.
Yeah, I love that.
So it's repeated messages with these built up numbers. It really is, until we kind of see like, hey, like what's going on with your chart to really get your attention for this additionally.
And if someone hasn't seen anybody do a demonstration through numerology, they're going to get an opportunity to see that in Lily Dell, yes?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like, I do readings on the psychic hour and the numerology hour, where I do live readings, but in person, um, you're going to get more palpable results when you're able to tune into somebody. Even though we get so much information just tuning into the comments, we really do. It's really fantastic. But yeah. Multiple people in the audience will be able to get read and to experience, really, for people who don't know what it is, it's kind of like just a psychic reading. I'm just doing it with numbers. That's what it is.
Right. But it's very accurate. I mean, that's very accurate.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of information. No, it's like it's evidential, like psychic work, and then the numbers are helping out. Absolutely.
And I don't want to let people not understand that you are a medium also.
Yes,
And a good
absolutely.
medium. So
Yeah.
you got a lot of things that you work with, and it's like you said, it all gives you great information, I think, and helps people on a healing pathway.
Absolutely. I love mediumship. I adore mediumship. In fact, Michael Christopher and I will be doing some psychic and mediumship readings in just an hour. On the psychic hour, this is a whole story of why we needed to do it on that day. But so I'll be doing readings in just a short bit. I'm laughing at myself just talking about it.
You take on a lot, and I so appreciate you being here this evening.
Oh, no, are you kidding me? It's an honor. It really is.
So
But I love doing
what the dates are for Lilydale. I know you have them wrote down because I forgot them.
July 25th and July 26th.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. And there actually might be a numerology demonstration as well, but that is being talked about. I believe it's in effect, but it will definitely be a part of the love and relationships class regardless.
Good. Perfect. So there's a reason for everybody to come to Lilydale and attend your classes and learn so much more, because there's so much more to learn than what you just kind of brushed on the top of this evening, for sure, right?
Absolutely. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Someone was asking if you believe in star seeds.
Do I believe in star seeds? It's a great question. I do, but I think it's not always a straightforward philosophy. That's a whole thing.
That's a whole other thing.
That's a whole thing. Like, I'm still kind of like figuring it out. I definitely believe in star seeds. I don't know if I believe it in the way that everyone necessarily believes it. I'm trying to figure out if, let's say, we are seeding, or there's other, beings seeding us into this. Oh gosh, I can't even think of the word. The Milky Way. Because we're a part. The universe has a bunch of different galaxies. We're in the galaxy of the Milky Way, where Earth is, and the belief is that there's certain races, like the Lyrian race, Blue Avian, the Syrians, all these different beings that came to Earth for a reason to help evolve Earth. And so Earth's origins are ancient, and they could be from the stars, right? And so I could go down the rabbit hole of possibly why and what, and so yes, I believe in that. I don't know if I believe in it just like, hey, like I'm a Lyrian. It's like, couldn't we just be a bunch of different star seeds because we had multiple lifetimes? And then it's like, I could just keep talking about that. I'm like trying to hold myself back.
Well, that's what I love about us being spiritualists, is that we are so accepting of so many theories and openness. And so we're just accepting of everything. So I love that.
Absolutely. Okay. I'll put one thing out there. One of the theories I'm like curious of just to even talk about is, so, people talk about like 3D and 5D consciousness a lot, and how we're evolving into the 5D. And so there's other dimensions, there's 6D, there's 7D, like it goes on and on and on. And so we are not dealing with time anymore. We are dealing with multifaceted consciousness. So it is totally possible that if we are in like 11D, 12D, that there's parts of ourselves that we're sending back for us to experience. And so I'm just going to leave it at that. So that can see
we can go really deep into all
lifetimes, right? You know what I mean?
Amy Checkin always says we're everywhere all the time.
Yes, that's what I feel.
Yeah, everywhere all the time, evolving. So, yeah.
That's what would be like, the multi-dimensional consciousness and existence.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I love to talk about it. I love to talk to you. It's been so much fun. So tell people again how they can contact you and watch your podcast also.
Okay, yeah. You can find me at kellybrickel.com or Kelly Brickel on social media like Facebook and Instagram. Also through Sacred Spiral Network. I facilitate and own the network, and there's so many just wonderful people a part of it. And so we're always broadcasting. And you can find my shows there, Sacred, excuse me, the Psychic Hour and Numerology Hour on Sacred Spiral Network. And that's just, type in Sacred Spiral Network and it'll pop up with the socials and also
Look for you
sacredspiral.com.
in Lilydale in July. You're going to be here for a whole week. So come to her workshops, learn about numerology and auras. It sounds fascinating and fun. And I think it'd be something people would be very interested in. So I hope they come and check you out, Kelly. And thank you all for all of your comments. Obviously, it's a topic that's of interest to many people. So thank you all for joining us this evening. Thank you, Kelly, for being here. We will be back again in 2 weeks for another episode of Enlightening Your Way. Please check back on the Lilydale Assembly Facebook page for everything that's going on and off season in Lilydale. Also, please check out my Facebook page, Wellness with Nancy Lombardo, and Instagram, nancy.k.lombardo, where my motto is protecting and serving your well-being. Thank you again, Kelly, for joining me this evening. Thank you all for being here. My name is Nancy Lombardo, and I wish you all a good evening. Thank you all.